All right, well, good afternoon and welcome everybody. And let me just start off by apologizing for the change in venue. We really wanted to have this down at Kekalike today, but given the weather and the circumstances, we made the change. So I really do appreciate the fact that we also have some business leaders from Chinatown, and that's very important to us to have you in the room. So welcome to all of you. I'm going to be very brief because we have a lot of outstanding speakers today, but today's press conference is about our continued efforts to protect, preserve, and make Chinatown a great place for people to live, to work, and to play. And this is an ongoing commitment, and this is our statement to that effect. Just today, by coincidence, it makes 2 years that we've been in office. We all walked in this building 2 years ago today, January 4th, 2021. And despite all the issues that we had to deal with concerning COVID and a lot of other aspects of what we've all lived through over the last couple of years, I like the progress that we've made to date in Chinatown. But we are nowhere near where we want to be. And so today's conference is to talk about that ongoing commitment and what we plan to do about it. So following me will be Chief Logan, is going to come up here, and then Councilmember Santos-Tam. I want to welcome Tyler too, because he's just brand new to City Council. We watched him get sworn in yesterday. We're excited about his being on our council with us. Major Calvin Sung will be here to speak. Then Steve Am, Prosecutor Am, and I want to have Anton Krucky come up and speak about our homeless efforts and what we're doing in Chinatown. I want to get really clear. You know, what we're doing down there has to do with the criminal element. We're not looking to criminalize homelessness. That's really important. We've said that throughout. There are a lot of things we are doing to help our homeless community, but to me, there's a real separation of what goes on in the criminal element and what happens with our homeless population. And so without further ado, and we're all going to be here to answer questions, but I want to also say this. It's a show of force. This is who we are. It's a combined effort of a lot of people, a lot of resources, you know, and a shared vision on what we want to get done down there. So without any further ado, I want to bring up Chief Logan.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity. I would just like to say on behalf of all the members of the Honolulu Police Department, we agree with the mayor. We're on board with the mayor's. You know, as somebody like myself who's been here for over 50 years, I grew up looking at Chinatown, you know, playing around as a young teenager in the Chinatown downtown area, and the vibrancy and all the things that were going on, and how do we restore that? So we are focused, and we are contributing to the return of Chinatown and the downtown area the way it used to be, the way I grew up understanding and knowing it to be, and that's what we're here to do. And I'll save the content of what HPD is doing. Major Sung will discuss with you later. Thank you for that opportunity.
All right, well, I'm very excited by the mayor's announcement today. You know, Chinatown is a very special place. It's historic, it's vibrant, and for the businesses, for the residents, for the visitors to Chinatown, they deserve to be safe. And this is exactly what this funding is intended to do. You know, as the mayor said, this is not about, you know, criminalizing the homeless. This is really about dealing with the insidious crime that happens in Chinatown. And it's not just Chinatown. You know, what happens in Chinatown, the criminal elements, the drug dealers, you know, this has spillover effects into the neighboring areas, whether that's Iwilei or Liliha or Nu'uanu. And so for the residents in the community surrounding Chinatown, I hope that this will be also a sign that we take the crime in their neighborhood seriously, and we're taking it to the source. And so this dedicated funding for Chinatown, I think, is really important, and hopefully is just a continuation of the efforts to clean up this community.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. The Honolulu Police Department shares and supports the Mayor Blangiardi's unwavering vision for downtown and Chinatown. And we have been focusing our effort to ensure that area residents and businesses and visitors feel safe and secure within this culturally diverse neighborhood. The Chinatown COVID Task Force initially formed in July 2021 and turned into the Chinatown Task Force. And then this task force program was allowed the Honolulu Police Department to create a partnership within the Chinatown community and provided HPD the opportunity to tackle the chronic complaints and illegal activities throughout the outreach and enforcement effort, such as the support of the Weed and Seed initiative by the prosecutor's office. So from April 1st, 2022 to December 31st, 2022, Chinatown Task Force officers issued about 7,000 warnings and also issued about 5,288 citations and also made about 73 arrests, including dangerous drug warrants and miscellaneous crime offenses. And we also conducted outreach effort and then conducted about 1,312 outreach contact was made, and about 500 residentially challenged individual was referred to Honolulu programs by the task force officers. Most notable was the overwhelming decrease in the multiple crime statistics, including 64% decrease in the number of miscellaneous crimes reported, and also 55% decrease in the reported drug and narcotic cases, and also 32% decrease in the number of the property damage cases reported. The Honolulu Police Department is very proud of the measurable impact of our Chinatown Task Force has accomplished so far, and we are excited and truly honored to confirm that the support of the both Chinatown community and as well as the mayor and the Chinatown Task Force has been extended to the entirety of 2023. We thank you for this opportunity and look forward to working with all of you guys moving forward. Thank you.
Good afternoon. This is what collaboration looks like. It's from the day Mayor Blangiardi got sworn in. He and I have been working together with the chief and all the players at HPD to try to, with things like weed and seed, you identify what the community problems are based on what the community says, and then you work with law enforcement and try to address those numbers. And part of it is arresting people for breaking the law, but partly also with the homeless. The city is doing things with the CORE program. There are other health and human services. There are other people that are trying to help the homeless. At the end of the day, though, if they don't take some of the voluntary efforts and they do get arrested by the police department, we have set up a program called SUDAFAST for substance use disorder assessment fast to get them assessed right away at the jail and then into a treatment program. Because if they have, I think the vast majority of the homeless folks that are sleeping on the sidewalk in Chinatown have mental health and or drug and alcohol problems. And unless they deal with those underlying problems, they're never going to be successful at staying off the street. So the homeless population is diverse. It needs to be met where they are in many places, but I think by everybody working together, which is what you're seeing happening, and this is the tip of the iceberg here, because it's the businesses in Chinatown, it's the residents in Chinatown that are really the ones out there making a difference and working with all the professionals you see up here. So we're really happy with what's going on, and the beauty of an initiative like this, and the mayor putting his money where his mouth is for this, is that it's not going to go away next week. It's not going to be done the week after. It's next month. It's the month after that. It's next year. It will be ongoing, and Chinatown will get better and better and better. So thank you.
Steve, Anton, before I bring you up, you could tell we didn't rehearse this. Because I was going to defer to somebody else to say it. So let me just be really clear about what this represents in the way of incremental funding, if you will, and our commitment to Chinatown. We've put aside, or we've requested and have, and we're distributing it, $647,000 from our SLRF money, state and local fiscal recovery funds. That's going to be able to provide us, on a basis of at least a minimum of 4 to 5 days a week, an additional shift of 7 officers, 1 supervisor and 6 patrolmen, of which we were asking for foot patrol as well as an additional deterrent to crime for 4 or 5 days a week. You know, that's to supplement our ongoing protection that we have down there with our current police officers, undercover, and even narcotics agents that are in the area. So this is incremental too. It'll be in key hours. I'm going to defer to Chief Logan and Major Sung on what they determine is the best shifts, because they are at on the pulse of this. But I just wanted to quantify it for you in that regard. And if we need more resource, if it comes down to that, we will find a way to provide more resource. Our goal here is to make this as ideal as possible, but as Prosecutor Ram just said, this is not an overnight fix. It's not a quick fix, and that's why I said at the outset, this is our ongoing commitment, and we are going to stay committed. So with that, I'd like to bring up Anton Chkrupke. Very proud of the work that Anton's been able to do in Chinatown for us regarding our homeless community, and that includes Jim Ireland as well, who could not be here today.
Thank you, Mayor. Really, to reiterate, although I'm going to talk about our homeless programs, what we're talking about today is not a homeless program, right? It's a crime prevention, crime stopping program, right? But it just turns out that in the midst of that, many homeless will be involved in it. And so we have to understand that as we go through, just like the SUDAFAST system that that the prosecutor talked about. But really, the homeless strategy that the mayor embarked upon when he came into office is really, there's two sides to the strategy. The first side is, can you get somebody to voluntarily or involuntarily, where the law exists, to make a decision to engage the system? And if you can get them to engage the system, the second part is do you have the capability to service those decisions? So we had a hard year last year with shelter beds. We lost some significant amount of beds. And solving the homeless problem in many ways is about beds. But what we're going to do is we're going to be rebuilding beds this year, and we're going to be building them in different flavors that are meaningful to the people that need those beds so that they'll engage in them. And what do I mean by that? Well, they can be shelter beds, right? But they can also be medical beds for stabilization, for both drug abuse and mental health issues. And once we get them stabilized, then one of the biggest differences that are happening, and this is something Jim Ireland and I have worked on, is medical respite beds. Why? Because right now when we take somebody to Queens and they're stabilized, within a day and a half, with less than that, they're out on the streets again. But if we have medical respite, we can move them to there, and they could spend a couple of months, really getting better, healing. And during that time of healing, we can work with them. We can get them housed, right? We can offer them things where they say, now I'll take treatment. I trust that you're in here for my best interest. Another flavor of beds are transitional housings like villages. And this administration is going to be putting up some villages this year. I know you've heard talk about it from the state. We'll be partnering with them, but we also have our own plans. And this is where groups of individuals can move in and they can still be together, because separating them out and giving them permanent supportive housing doesn't work. They leave, right? So for those it doesn't work, the village is a great concept. And then we'll continue to push for more and more permanent supportive housing where people can move into housing and then get services around it. So again, it's working real hard, doing segmentation of the people and how they make their decisions. Last year in Allow Housing Now, we did something very different. The most hard to reach people were the ones that we were trying to give vouchers to, and we had a capability and a flow there. But we said, what about the homeless that want to be housed, right? How about the mother with 2 kids that just is afraid she just became on the street? So we offered vouchers. We housed 300 families, 650 individuals with that one program just last year. So we can have them make those decisions, and then our goal is to find ways to create more beds. But in saying that, if we're going to create more beds, we're going to create them on this island. And if we're going to create them on this island, we need communities to allow us to do that. So we need communities not just to point out that we have homeless in our communities, but to work with us and be part of the solutions as we move forward. Getting them to make a decision and then providing the resources to service those decisions. Thank you.
So I love what Steve Arms said about the fact that this is what collaboration looks like. So to that extent, and because we have business leaders in the room, I know we didn't script this, we didn't rehearse it. Any of you would like to come up and say anything at all? Come on. Anybody? Yeah, look, I put my old producer, my television producer hat on here. I'm trying to give you guys as many great sound bites as we can on this subject, okay, to show this kind of unity. Go ahead, Wes. You should introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi, I'm Wesley Fong, and I'm a past president of the Chinese Chamber of Commerce and also the chair of the Chinatown Community Center Association. You know, on behalf of the Chinese community, and I speak on behalf of all of the community, I want to thank the mayor for his initiatives in trying to make our Chinatown safe and secure and not just give us lip service. And with this collaboration behind me, I think it can be done. You know, I've been with the city for a long time, and I remember all the past mayors saying, Chinatown is the heartland of Honolulu. Well, let me tell you, I think a few of us believe that that heartbeat has atrial fibrillation. And hopefully our mayor, with his collaboration, will give Chinatown a regular heartbeat so it will be safe and secure, and that our residents and our tourists will come down and really enjoy Chinatown as it was and it should be. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Wes. Thank you. Anybody else? Yep.
Aloha, my name is Ernest Carvalho. So I'm going to wear 2 different hats tonight. I'm the president of the Honolulu Chinatown's Lions Club, and I'm the chair of Neighborhood Board 13, downtown Chinatown. We thank the mayor for everything he's been doing, and Tyler here, my friend. They've actually come and walked in our community more than anyone else has in previous years, and we appreciate that. They see what's going on. We thank the police department for everything they've been doing, and of course, Mr. Arm back here. They've been doing a great job. But the bottom line in restoring Chinatown and making it not just the heartland, but the jewel of Oahu, the jewel of Honolulu, is to get the people involved in it. No matter what our politicians, no matter what our police do, nothing will change unless the community can come forward and get up and move forward to clean up their city. It's going to take us, the regular people like myself, Fran, and Eric, and all those that work on the ground to get our community back to life. I know I took a lot of death threats when I cleaned up Senior Center Park. I did that. Nobody else did that. I did that. Got the tents out of there, got the homeless out of there, work with them. And we've got to remember, a lot of our homeless people that are on the streets are actually criminals. So we're not criminalizing the homeless. We're trying to get rid of the criminals that are hiding within the homeless situation. And this is what we need to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Ernest.